What's up, YouTube? It has been quite a while since I made a video, but decided to make one today on my bike here, the BMW R1250 GSA. This is a 2024. What I'm going to be doing is installing the Denali CanSmart. I don't have it hooked up. I've got it sitting here right now. CanSmart, as well as the two B6 brake lights. I don't see too many people doing the configuration like that. A lot of them will just do the single B6, but to me, I prefer the look of this, having the two side by side. And you get more, I feel like you get a lot more visibility from the back. So this one, I guess I'll show you guys kind of up close how this turned out here. So the factory license plate mount, the way the lights line up, the wire is kind of right there on the edge. So for anybody doing this, that's all I did. I just notched it out with like a Dremel. Just cut a little notch right there. And you can feed your wire through that opening and then up through the middle, which I did have to drill a hole. You can probably see that, yep. Drill a hole. This is only held in by 2 screws, one on each side, and then it kind of, you have to slide it. There's like a little latch right here that grabs onto this entire assembly. You just kind of slide it back, I think, and then it drops down, and there's like, it's like hinged right here. And this is where the wires come up, the factory turn signal wires. They come up right there. Luckily, there's plenty of room to run the new B6 wires right next to it. So, and then when you get this kit with the brackets, the splitter comes with it. So, but yeah, really not that bad. The hard part is going to be fishing all the wires for the pod lights. I'm doing the Denali D7 Pros. So front frames are going to come off, tank's going to come off. I'm going to do it correctly. I don't want to just fish the wires and have it look like shit. I want it to be actually, yeah, look like factory wiring. But it's probably going to be a little bit tricky because I'm going to end up running, I think, at least 4, maybe 5 wires total, because I want to kind of future-proof it so I don't have to do this again. So pretty much I'm going to have, I think, 3 for the Denali D7 Pros, 1 for the horn, which comes with the CanSmart. So if I want to add the sound bomb horn later I could do that. And then I think I'm going to run the other harness that comes with this, just so I can add if I feel like it. I'm not sure if I will yet, but if I either want to replace these with other auxiliary lights or add 2 more and keep those with the Denali's, you know, just want to make it easier later on down the road. But I don't know, we'll see how this goes. I'm going to try to record clips as I'm doing this, and then of course at the end get some nice shots of how it all looks with the brake lights and the D7 Pros all lit up. But cool. So yep, hopefully you guys will enjoy this. We'll get started on it. All right, so that was fun. Got the tank and all the front fairings off. Really didn't take that long. I feel like probably, wish I'd have timed it, maybe 35, 40 minutes. One thing that I feel like is a good idea to do is the screws you take out, put them back where they go. A Bike Thing, his channel, he does a really good video showing what screws go where, but honestly, if you just kind of put them back where you take them out of, you should be good. So yeah, I'm gonna try to get this carpet out of here. I noticed dirt gets all down in these little screw holes. This is for your air filter. I just hit 6,000 miles, or actually I'm a little shy of 6,000 miles. I need to check the air filter, but yep, I'm gonna get that carpet out of there. Wish I'd have ran it lower on fuel. It's basically almost a full tank of gas, so that's why I'm out of breath. It's pretty heavy. But all right, so yep, I'll try to keep making updates as I go. So looking at this, I love the way BMW does this. They've got a plastic track for the wiring harness that comes from back here. So I would like to put all my wires inside of this, and then it goes up here under the air box, and it looks like it kind of basically routes all the way up to the top. It's very hard to see, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to get, yeah, there's just no room in there. So I'm gonna have to try to figure this out, but I don't know yet. We shall see. I was thinking for the power wire, maybe I could get that, fit that in there, because I want it to come out. Basically, it can pop out right there. This little notch. Go right here. I don't know. Try this out. So after kind of screwing around a little bit, I think I'm gonna end up running the power wire. Basically, I'll show you like this. Along the side here, next to the ECU, there's this little thing here. Maybe I'll try to get it into that, zip tie it, get it over to here, zip tie it to this, and go under. I was gonna go here, but then it rubs against the frame, so don't want that to happen. So, and also if I try to go to this little spot and drop it down, then I lose slack up here, and I kind of want to keep it basically right about there, so I can easily pull it out. As far as the other wires, I have no clue. I'm not thinking this is gonna work, although there is a decent amount of space up inside of this tube to properly fish that in there. I'm gonna have to remove the air box, and I don't think it's really necessary to go that far with running these wires, as long as I get them routed where it's not gonna rub or get pinched. I think we're good, but I'm leaning either toward running it on this side, because there's like a cutout. Yeah, I can't get it on camera. Yeah, basically right here, there's a cutout in the plastic. If I can get it through there, I can tie it up the frame there. So yeah, it's I think I'm gonna start on getting the lights mounted first, just to see how much slack I'm gonna need, because I know the the harness that come out of the lights, it's decently long, so just want to kind of get that there so I can gauge how much slack I need to pull to the front of the bike. And then as far as the harness for the horn, I know the sound bombs, you can either do this separate, it's like the little air compressor can be separate from the horn, or you can do the complete unit, and I'm pretty sure they mount up here. So for that harness, I'm probably going to leave a little slack loop, and then for the additional one, I'm going to kind of run for later on. I don't think I need to worry too much about a ton of slack, because I can always get like extension harnesses, but I don't know, I'll mess around with it. I'll be back whenever I get this mounted. All right, so this is where I'm at so far. I think the plan is I'm gonna put all my connections up here. I've got the actual light pods mounted with the bracket. Looks like there's enough slack on the harness coming out of the lights, where I should be able to, from this side here, come up, zip tie it to there, and it makes it all the way to this side. So literally just figure I'll just put the connections all there, and then the still got to pull the horn wire. That's the last one, but yeah, and then I'll just try to get a good shot of how I routed this. Originally, I planned on coming under this hose and following the brake lines and running it through that little opening I was talking about. God, it's so hard to get a good shot of it, but I decided against that because there's not much room between this hose and the brake lines. So the fuel line and the fuel pump harness, I was able to kind of push it to the side, and it gives me a nice gap right here to run all the wires together. They're gonna go over top of that hose, but I'm pretty sure there's enough clearance. Like when the tank sits down, it shouldn't push on it too hard. But the plan is I'm gonna take Tessa tape. Once I get everything connected and know how much slack I need, I'm gonna basically make it into one big harness with Tessa tape. get it zip tied in, follow this through here. Then it's looking like it's gonna be kind of tight, but I still could pull a little more slack out of this, I think. But those should all connect pretty well. But for the power wire, instead of staying on the right, I'm just gonna kind of swing it around this way and just kind of do the original plan, coming under this, zip tie that. I don't know, to me that seems to be the best way to do it without removing the airbox. And I know I'm not gonna be able to get it on video, but let's see. So basically right where this hose is, I ran the wires, you can kind of see them right here, ran them through there and up above these hoses on the inside of the frame. I did want to try to go get the flashlight. Let's see here. I did want to try to run it this way. Yeah, I can't really. See if I can do this. There we go. I did want to try to run it on the outside of the frame, like this side, in between the airbox and the frame, but there's not much of a gap. So you can see them right here. I just went around that part of the frame, looped it up, and then it comes up right here. You could see them. And then it goes, the air duct there goes on the inside of that. And then it kind of follows, it's gonna follow all the existing wires. Pretty much just goes under this plastic piece. And then I'm gonna try to zip tie everything right here. But yeah, I figure that'll keep the airbox from pushing on the wires and prevent any kind of rubbing. So, and it's out of the way of the suspension, the height sensor, whatever you call that. Right now I got a wire wrapped around it, but once I get it all tied up, it'll be well out of the way of that. But yeah, I just figured I'd kind of show that because I don't really see any videos where people show how they route their wires. But yep, I'll come back when I get everything plugged in and tidied up. All right, this is what I'm working with so far. Got the tested tape. This is kind of everything laid out here. It's gonna be kind of fun getting all this zip tied away, but I ran the wires behind the bracket. Then I'm gonna tuck the right side light up into here. Then the left side is just gonna kind of loop around and go through this little notch. There's a notch right here. And I checked, when you put that little fairing over it here, it covers up all of this. So just have to make sure I get it where it's out of the way of the air intake. But yeah, the tested tape looking good, looking nice and professional. That's where it runs down. It's basically right next to another harness. And then get the flashlight here. You can probably, you can't really tell. Yeah, hard to see it, but right up there, kind of loops down, and it goes in between the frame. If you look between those two hoses, it goes back in there, comes down, and it goes through that, yeah, you can see it there. Goes through that little opening in that plastic shield next to the ABS module. Yeah, it's out of the way. It doesn't seem like it's gonna rub on anything like that. And then should have enough to make it. These are a little shorter, but I think we'll have just enough. We'll see. If not, I could probably pull a little more slack out of this. So that's the thing, you just got to keep fighting with it back and forth. And especially taping it up with this, you got to get it all laid out first and then pull your slack out, start taping it from this end as far as you can go, and then pull it back through, and then finish taping it. That's what I'm doing now. So, yep, we'll see how it looks here shortly. Yep, about to put the carpet back in for the tank, but this is just a final look at the cables here, tidied up. I'm trying to get that out the way. So that's how I did it. We'll see if the tank will go on, but basically I got it zip tied here, here, and there. Doesn't look like it's really pushing against the fuel line much to be an issue. You know, it is kind of bulky there. It's slightly pushing against it, but I don't think it'll be an issue. And then I guess this is kind of like the fuel rail. Yeah, these are for the fuel injectors. So that's like your fuel rail, I think. I made sure not to attach it there or push on that too much, but I really don't think the tank is gonna push on that, but I'll find out. I'll definitely make an update if it does. That's something I want to check before we call it good. But yeah, the power line, just like I said, under there, and this thing fits perfectly. I'd have to take the bolts out to show you, but you'll see once I get the tank on. It's plenty of room under this thing. And still, yeah, this is a little tight. Wish I had a little more slack on these, but I checked, and this is still going to be pretty easily accessible. I just need to make sure I can get the USB plugged in if I need to. And then something on these bikes, I don't know what year they started doing this, but this is a 2024, and it does not have the tire pressure monitor, the RDC unit as they call it, but this is the connector. It just has a cap on it, so that shouldn't be a big deal. I got probably just enough slack to make that connection. Really wish Denali would include just a little bit more. It's basically just enough. And this is kind of what I got going on here. You know, it ain't pretty, but it'll be hidden. As long as I don't cover up the air intake, we're good. The other thing is for the keyless entry for the fuel cap. That's the one end of the plug. The other end slides onto this little rail right here. So I didn't want to permanently attach this and then not be able to get that on, so I'm kind of leaving it loose for now. But that's the lights. I kind of think I'm gonna run the yellow. I don't know, man. It kind of, with the amber and yellow cover on there, it kind of looks a little tacky. I like just a clean, you know, like the white or clear. I mean, it looks a little cleaner, but I think I'll run the yellow over the amber. We'll see how it looks. But all right, let me get this fuel tank on here. Fuel tank is on. I think it's all right. You know, the tank, you can see my harness right here. The tank is sitting on it, but you know, it's almost sitting completely flat on its own. I just have to push that a little bit, but I don't know. I really don't think it's gonna be an issue. Nothing really seems like it's getting pinched or smashed under there. And you got that carpet, which is good. It'll kind of protect any of the wiring that does push against the tank. But cool. I'm gonna move forward with it. Keep going. All right, making some good progress here. So got the tank and all that on. Everything's connected. We're connected to the battery. I've got it booted up, and I've made the adjustments to what circuit does what. So let me turn the bike on here. Let's see. I need to change that other cap to the yellow. It's still got the clear. So all right, right now I've got the center ones are basically, I have them set up as running lights, and then got your turn signals, the main beam doesn't actually come on until I start the bike. You can change that, but I'll show you the hazards. And then the B6 brake lights, they look really good. Let me see if I can get a shot of them when I hit the brake. Pretty good. I like the strobe, how quickly it strobes. I noticed in the software, extra settings. Oh wait, nope, not this one. So on your brake, you can do solid on braking, brake applied, flashing continuous, California legal, and then rapid alert. That's the one I did. I'm guessing the California one flashes slower maybe, I don't know, but I feel like a lot of the videos I've seen, it flashes a lot slower than what I've got. But yeah, let me start it up here. So now the main beams are on. And it does the inverse flashing. Good. I'm very happy with it. Something else I'll put in this video, I've got the Hex GS911. Now that I've got my auxiliary lights, I'm going to, I forget what they call the setting. I think it's something like enable running light. But anyway, you can go in there and turn off your like main headlight. I think the European GS bikes are like that already, but in the US the headlight is always on, which is good if you don't have, you know, bright auxiliary lights. I left it on. But now that I have these, I'm going to disable that so you can see the X pattern a lot clearer, and I think it'll look pretty cool. So yeah, we'll see how that turns out. Now I got to put all these plastics back on, so I think I'm going to just not really show any of that and just show you guys what it looks like. You know, I'll pull it out. Maybe I'll do like a night video as well so you can see how that looks. All right, just thought I would point this out. It's really frustrating. I don't know why BMW had to use this clip right here. The left side of the bike, it's not that bad to get to, but the right side, it's kind of recessed in here, so ended up having to use this, which probably isn't the best tool. It worked. Kind of mangled it a little, not too bad, mostly this piece. But I don't understand why BMW can't just use the style that has like the push pin. You push it in, then you can pop the clip out. Most of the Japanese bikes I've worked on have that style of clip. I don't see why they couldn't use that, but yeah, just be prepared. That one's a pain in the ass. All right, it is day 2. I ended up getting everything finished and was able to do a nice test ride yesterday, but I didn't take any video because I still wanted to kind of adjust some of the settings. First, I'll tell you guys what I found out with the software and the way I had it configured. The way I have it now, I think is going to be perfect. So if you look here, the red circuit, I have light pair 1, so that's the outer 4 LEDs on each pod, and they are tied together with a splitter, so they're on one circuit, so you can't control them individually when you have it like that. But that'll be your low beam, your high beam. Originally I had, see these blue and yellow circuits, I had, you know, just left turn signal, right turn signal, which was a problem because you don't get as much adjustment when you do that. You pretty much can only adjust like the intensity level. I don't think it gives you like a day and night or a turn signal, separate turn signal flashing intensity. Like you don't get the extra options like you do with this. So I set it up as left light 2, right light 2. So this is basically your light pair 2 but because I've got them on separate circuits, you can do left and right. So right here, I've got right now I've just got the night intensity to 50%, but daytime, low beam, 100%. Of course, high beam, day or night, 100%. Then you have to set it to flash when your turn signal is active, and inverse with hazards. But if you go to your extra settings, this is the thing that I'm so glad I found, because this was a problem. You can adjust the actual turn signal intensity. So when the running light's on, you can have it 100%, but when you hit that turn signal, it drops it down. I've got it at 10%, which is still pretty bright. Like I think that's going to be good for a turn signal, because I found that when I was riding behind a car yesterday or last night, flipped on the left turn signal to make a lane change, and they like hit their brakes, like it freaked them out. So I was like, yeah, I need to figure something out. But that's how I got it set up. And then the brake light, even at 10% for the running light, very bright, especially at nighttime. You can't even see my license plate. Even with the license plate light, you can't make it out. Now I'm sure if a cop got behind you, they could probably read it with their headlights, but very bright. And I made sure to turn off the flash on emergency stop, because I noticed it was on. I noticed a few times whenever I would come to a stop, they would just continue strobing. And I think from what it says, it's if you make like an abrupt stop, it kind of does that, which I don't like. I just want it to strobe 3 times and stay solid. So that's all I have right here. Brake applied, flashing, rapid alert. So yeah, let me show you guys how everything looks. Turn the bike on. There's the running lights with the yellow, selective yellow lenses. Here's the B6s. Pretty sweet. And you guys already saw that in the other clip, how bright those are when you hit the brakes. So, all right. So left turn signal, you'll see it drops down the intensity, but from the front, I mean, that's perfect for a turn signal. It's still brighter than the factory one. It just depends on what angle you're at. If you're down here, you know, you can see, comparing it to the other side, you know, that's good enough. So it's not going to be freaking people out thinking you're flashing your lights at them. You put it back, full brightness. You get the inverse flashing. And then I've also, like I said, I was going to do the GS911. I think it's called retrofit. I wish I would have got a video of that, but in the app, you go to like the retrofit section, and you can enable the DRL, like I was saying. But I gotta trick the bike really quick. Now you'll see, it's just, I think it's daytime now. So I'll show you. There we go. So now I've just got the DRL. So the main headlight beam is off during the daytime. Just looks better, I think. And like I said, I'm pretty sure all the European bikes are like that from the factory. So, all right, let me start it. There's brights. And same thing, turn signal. You see they go right back. So, yep, I am very happy with these lights. Totally worth it. Gives you a ton more visibility in the daytime, and I can ride at nighttime with my tinted visor, no problem. Even with the low beams, I can still see. And when you put the high beams on, it just, you could see the entire road ahead and to the side. So like if a deer or something was gonna come out, you would see that way ahead. So yeah, it's pretty legit, guys. I'm gonna, when it gets a little later, I'll do like an evening/night video, show y'all how she looks out and about. And but yeah, hopefully this will help give you guys some ideas of, you know, how to do your wiring and how to set it up. It's really not that bad. If you've worked on bikes before, it's not going to be a problem, especially if you take your time and do it right. Don't just half-ass it, slap it in. Try to take your time with it. Don't get in a rush. All right, I'll see you in the next clip. All right, here's how she looks. Got the DRLs. Here's the E6 brake lights. Beast. We do the hazards. Like that. Insanely bright. And then I'll do the turn signal. Turn signal looks pretty good. I'm happy with it. You can definitely tell it's a lot dimmer, which is good, especially for night. Just as bright as the regular turn signals. But yep, that's it, you guys. I don't think I'm going to do a night video because I've seen plenty of other videos people show how it looks. I'm telling you, it's bright. Cool, I'm going to get on out of here, continue my ride. Appreciate y'all watching.